The revolution's begun. The time to stand up has come. We are the rocking of the throne. We are the rocking of the throne.
My name's Victor Tiffany. I'm with Revolt Against Plutocracy, the activism pillar of Real Progressives. And I'm joined tonight by Wendy May, running for Congress in North Carolina. Wendy, tell us what district you're running in.
Well, good evening, and thank you, for the opportunity to speak with you. I am Wendy May, and I am the progressive candidate running in the 2nd Congressional District of North Carolina for the U.S. House of Representatives.
The 2nd District. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Take a few minutes to just sort of give us your background and why it is you're running for Congress.
Well, and my background is quite simple. I'm a faith leader, an advocate, a public servant, and a 100% disabled American veteran. And wherever there's an injustice for one, there's an injustice for all. And our present Congress, working with number 45, have created an injustice. They have set us back in every civil right, every type of right. They set us back to the 1950s, before I was even born. So where there's an injustice for one, there's an injustice for all. And therefore, that's the reason I'm running. I'm running because I strongly believe in the progressive movement. And I was a Bernie delegate, and I'm proud to say I was.
And then please tell us why you decided to go ahead and sign the contract for American Renewal.
Well, signing the contract was actually very simple. It saw all the points that I believe in. And when you look at it, and you look at the amount that it required to get put on there, 63% or better, we're talking about crossing party lines. We're talking about people agreeing, not based upon the little r or the little d. They're basically agreeing on an issue. And this is what my issue is. My issues are about issues, not about anything else. They're all about issues. The issues fall into 4 categories: equality, education, the economy, and our environment. And those 11 points hit on every single one of those. So it really didn't take me much to do it.
I understand. So there's some pretty high-priced points among those listed: free college education, addressing the infrastructure with probably at least $1 trillion. Since you signed it, we've modified it and set a threshold of $2 trillion. And then, of course, Medicare for all, is all of which are very high-priced items. You're really just a tax and spend liberal, aren't you?
Absolutely not. Because I'll tell you why. All of those things already cost us money. And if it's properly managed, Victor, we can actually start taxing people who we're not taxing, and we can pay for those things. Right now, our infrastructure, our rail and our highways, there's already taxation on that. That money needs to be used to improve our infrastructure. There's already infrastructure taxes on every infrastructure that's already out there. So really and truthfully, it's just about having the right way to manage. And that is not what Donald Trump, number 45, wants to do with his infrastructure program.
Indeed, it's not. Tell us which of these 11 policy positions you're going to stress the most, whether you're in a debate or you're on the stump or you're in an interview situation, perhaps with a local media person. Which of those 11s, and it doesn't have to be one, if it's 2 or 3, that's fine, but which of those 11 policy positions are you going to really embrace and emphasize in your campaign?
Well, first of all, I embrace them all. Okay, I'm a union member, and I believe in livable wage. So that is a very big issue. I'm a veteran, so I believe in universal health care because we need it. Infrastructure. I live right along Interstate 95 and the great rail line that runs north and south and east and west. And I can tell you these are problems. So I also rely very strongly on benefit structure. And I also believe in taxation for the rich and for corporations. So there are issues right there. If we're going to have a fair country, we have to have a fair tax system. If we want infrastructure, we have to have the money to do that. If we want universal health care, we need to be able to plan something, be it Medicare for all, be it demanding universal health care. It has to be something. I'm in favor of a nonprofit health insurance system.
All right, and how are you going to use this contract? The contract itself, whether you are you going to make use of it if you, in your debates, in your primary part of the debates? Are you going to put it on your website? Are you going to set out a press release indicating to the media that you're a CFAR candidate? So tell us how you're going to actually make use of this contract.
Well, first of all, I've already had forums, and at the forums, I identified that I'm a CFAR candidate. I'm a candidate with a contract. I'm a candidate who strongly believes that we need to take the smoke and mirrors out of politics, and we need an equal playing ground. So, you know, we have an organization called the DCCC. They don't want a playing ground that's equal. They want to preserve their seats and bring friends similar. So, you know, I'm using that contract fully. And you know, it's a shame we have to do this, but we've let government and politics become so corrupt that this is the only thing we can do.
Well, I appreciate your answer. That's more comprehensive than most CFAR candidates convey. Finally, one last question. Why Wendy May instead of one of your opponents or any of your opponents? Why would you think voters should choose you as their representative in Congress instead of someone you're running against in the primary?
Quite simple. I have a heart. I care about the poor and the working poor. My opponents are a millionaire and an establishment candidate. So if you want the same old, if you wanted the man I'm running against, hopefully in November, is George Holding, who lives out of the district, who's out of touch, who's a millionaire. If that's what you want, elect either of the other two. But if you want somebody that's going to go to Washington, D.C. and is going to stand up against big corporations and against the political bloc that has created what we have today, then you need to elect me because I am that candidate.
Wendy, I appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we will continue this conversation in just a moment.
Revolt Against Plutocracy won't just be covering the news about the necessary revolution in the United States. Sometimes we'll be making the news. If you want to stay on top of the revolutionary actions and strategies of grassroots, genuine progressives, and our allies, please subscribe to our YouTube channel today.